Help support our coverage using Blueberry, the community that gives creators the ability to make money, get detailed audience measurements, and host their audio and video. Get 30 days to try out the service using promo code Blueberry004. That's BLUBRRY004.
Our guest in this segment is Craig Silbury. He is the founder and CEO of iLume, is that correct?
iLume, Illume, whatever you want to call it.
Well, let's get into this because it's a really interesting way to actively utilize AI to help you understand your dog better.
Correct. So I'll give you a little bit of background.
Please.
So I had a background in a human microbiome company, which was relatively successful. I sold that in 2018 and I retired. I got bored and I love dogs, so I started to talk to animal scientists about the best types of foods for dogs to start with. But these animal scientists, a couple of them gave me some really interesting insights. One, have you got a dog?
I do not.
Okay.
I have many dogs in my family, though.
So dogs, when they're puppies, they're born into a litter. You can get two dogs from the same litter, same sex, same parents, obviously, same age, same breed, same food growing up in same environment, yet as adults, their daily calorific requirements can vary by 40%.
Wow.
So the way it was put to me was some dogs like to sit and watch the world go by, and other dogs will chase butterflies around all day. So if you also then consider over half of early adult dogs are overweight or obese, and veterinary associations around the world list obesity as the leading cause of preventable death in dogs.
Oh, wow.
So we overfeed our dogs. So I thought it's 21st century, we're all wearing smartwatches. There has to be a technological solution to this. So essentially that's what we've developed.
Okay, and exactly how does the technology work?
So we've developed a tracker that recognizes different types of motions. So every single motion from a dog dreaming to walking, chasing a ball, scratching, any of that sort of motion we identify, and we also identify the intensity of that motion. From that we can then build a calorific expenditure number that your dog has actually exerted, and you put your food into an app, and then this bowl knows automatically how much food needs to go in for breakfast and for dinner.
And it just tells you on your app, like 1 cup of kibble?
No, it's an automatic bowl. It knows how much. It's got scales in there, so you actually just turn it on. It says, then it's got rings that light up, and you start putting food in, and you put food in until the ring's complete, and if you put too much food in, you take it out. So you don't need to open an app. It's just automatically knows you're going to be feeding your dog. And the way it works is it actually starts to predict patterns of your dog's behavior. So we know that it's not the same every day. We know that on the weekend, dogs get a lot more exercise. Their calorific requirement might increase by 30%. We predict that. We also know that when it rains, dogs don't tend to get taken for walks. So we're constantly adjusting the bowl. So the bowl in the morning will give a prediction of your dog's activity for the day. But if you don't actually give it that exercise, it will actually take it out of the evening meal. So your dog every day gets the perfect amount of food.
Wow, that is incredible. And how exactly does the tracking fob work?
So
I don't want you to get too proprietary.
No, that's right. We have to be a little bit careful. But it sits on a dog's collar.
Okay.
Lasts about anywhere between 14 and 28 days. It's actually recognizing different types of motions that your dog does, like chasing a ball, for example, or wrestling or scratching. And it's interpreting that, sends that up into the cloud, comes back down, understands the patterns of your dog in the past, and actually builds a picture of your dog's perfect nutrition profile for that day. So it works in that way. But then it's also working in the background on a whole host of health-related, monitoring. So I have an epileptic dog.
Okay.
And for me, I'm not there with my dog all the time. So I want to know, is seizures, is he having seizures? Are they becoming more frequent? Are they becoming more intense? Because
absolutely.
That type of information I need to be giving to my vet so that we can adjust medication.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if are you looking into blood glucose monitoring, anything like that for diabetic dogs, kind of stuff?
Not quite, but I can generate. So for things we have functionality already. So if your dog starts to sleep more than it normally does, that might indicate that it has a sickness or there's something to look there. We also track how much food has been eaten. and also how quickly that food has been eaten. So we can actually potentially early identify if your dog has a cavity or has some sort of a dental or oral health issue. So again, your dog might also start scratching more than it did before. So it might indicate something there that's something's amiss. So there's a whole host of these other, I guess, behaviours that our dogs exhibit that this essentially gives your dog a bit of a voice, and it gives you an early indication to a problem, ideally so that you can get it fixed up before it becomes a real issue.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. Now, what kind of price point are you looking at this device?
Yeah, so in the US, it's anywhere between $250. We have a $250 early bird special, $300. Interesting what we've worked out. So we know that generally people overfeed their dog.
So about the cost of an average pet visit to the vet.
To the vet. So hopefully the point is it reduces those visits. But we've actually worked out that an average dog is actually eating too much food. And based on one of the leading brands, we worked out a savings of about $10 a month by feeding the right amount of food on a daily basis. That
is remarkable. Now, are you looking at scaling this up? Are you looking at other markets for it?
Absolutely. So we're an Australian company. It was developed in Australia for Australian dogs. There's around 8 million dogs in Australia, and our purpose is to get this on as many dogs as we can. We know that when overweight dogs, there's been quite recent trials done on this, overweight dogs reduce their weight by 10% versus a control. The dogs that have lost weight last on average 3 years longer.
Wow.
They're live, living with us, enjoying our company together. So this is really about getting this tracker on as many collars as possible and as many dogs benefiting from it as possible.
That is awesome. Now, where can everybody go to get their Illuma?
Yeah, so weareillume.com is our website. We're in the US. We're at CES right now, looking for a commercial partner for North America. So hopefully later this year you'll be able to find it on a shelf somewhere or on Amazon or another one of the large e-tailers here.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Craig. I greatly appreciate it. It's an amazing product, really, and something that if you're a pet owner out there, absolutely essential, because once again, we tend to forget those things. Many times we just throw a few scoops of food in the bowl and walk out to work.
Absolutely. So I think if you want your dog to enjoy that company together, that bond, that time together, I think the best thing you can do is maintain a healthy weight.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
The Tech Podcast Network CES 2024 coverage is executive produced by Michelle Mendez. Technical directors are Kurt Corliss and Adam Barker. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Clinton Millsap, Sergio Velasquez, and Terry Willingham. Voiceover by Aaron Hurst. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Bain, Todd Cochran, Scott Ertz, and Christopher Jordan. Studio and equipment are provided by Plunkets Productions. This has been a Tech Podcast Network broadcast, copyright 2024.